There you go, Frank.
There's a lovely ticker tape signifying it's time for this week's twin, this week in the news. Business lessons we get from people who are newsmakers, and this week's twin is, hey, Cozy Friedman. Thank you for the small business lesson. And the question always is,
Who the heck is Cozy Friedman?
I'm glad you asked. Cozy was born in Queens, New York. Her father was a physician, and her mother sold Rolls Royces. She was a saleswoman at a Rolls Royce dealership. Pretty professional parents, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
You would think so. Cozy is her real name. And as she states, her parents were closet hippies way back then, all right? So as a child, Cozy and her older brother, this is in New York City, Queens, they would set up a stand in their apartment building, and they would sell used books and toys to make some money. So even as a kid, Cozy knew she had kind of an entrepreneurial spirit.
Isn't it Josie Friedman?
Pardon?
Isn't it Josie?
No, it's Cozy.
Cozy. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Cozy went to UMass Amherst, and I mention that because that's my alma mater. And she majored in communications. After graduation, Cozy looked around for a job, and she got a job working for a clothing company, where she first job was a receptionist, and she went up to East Coast sales manager for the company. So, you know, she was kind of an aggressive young lady. But as with all my stories, Cozy knew this wasn't for her. She really didn't like working for somebody else. Maybe she was a brat. Maybe she was a spoiled kid. Who knows? But she wasn't very good at taking orders, I guess. And she longed to open up her own business. But as she says, and I quote her, I just didn't know what kind of business it was going to be. She had no idea. She knew she didn't want to sign the back of the check. She wanted to sign the front of the check. So as Cozy was looking for her niche, every time she met an entrepreneur, she would ask them these three questions. And no matter whether they were a startup or they were a person well established. How did you find that great idea for your business? How did you get the idea for your business? And what sparked it in your mind? Cozy, she wasn't an engineer like most of my people are that I talk about her. She was just a communication person. And she asked and nothing clicked. And Cozy knew that she didn't have it yet. So she kept being an employee. And then one day, there's always that one day, a friend was visiting her at her apartment in Queens, and she was telling her how, what a tough day she had. She said, you know what, I have a young nephew, and I took him to get his haircut at my salon, the adult salon. She says, and when we got there, the little boy started to cry. And he cried so much that the salon asked her and her nephew to leave. Now this is her friend's salon. Her friend was mortified, embarrassed, and angry that the place that took care of her could not cut her nephew's hair. So Cozy says, well, duh. Why'd you take him there? Just take him to a place for kids. And her friend says, I don't think there is a place for kids. Lightning hit Cozy. She said, what? There's no place for kids? She said there should be a place for kids to get a haircut. And there wasn't. So Cozy says, bingo. That was her lightning moment. She began doing research. She says, this is my opportunity to tap into a market that no one was serving or taking advantage of. But Cozy says, and now this I think is awesome. He says, I don't know enough to start my business. So she said, I have a lot to learn before I launch my great idea. And look what she did to prepare herself. She went to barber school. Now, she was an East Coast sales manager for a clothing line, right? Making good money. She went to barber school. She went to work in children-related businesses, gymnasiums, clothing stores, maybe even, there were no Chuck E. Cheese's back then, I don't think. And again, as Cozy states, I learned everything there was to know because I didn't know anything. I was not married, and I had no kids. Well, it took 2 years for Cozy to open up a location because no landlord would rent to her because she was young, she was not married, and she had no experience. They said, well, you're going to fail. Get out of here. But Cozy did not give up. She went looking and looking, and finally, she found a place that was looking to rent out half of their space because they had too much space that would complement their business, and it was a maternity shop. They said, hey, we'll give you half the place. You can do what you want, she says, and we share the rent. The day she opened her first location, she called it Cozy's Cuts for Kids. It was in 1994. The day she opened, there was a line out the door waiting to get in. And the business remained steady, and there was always at least a 1 hour wait. Cozy says, I've got to open up another location. So she opened up a second successful New York City location, but Cozy did not stop from there. She realized there was no professional quality hair products made specifically for children. They were using adult hair products. And she says, nah, these kids deserve their own products. So she created her own line called So Cozy Hair Products for Kids. And that took off. But wait, there's more. Cozy also created a specific product to address a problem that most parents faced, and I bet you all three of us faced when our kids went to school. It's called lice. No matter how good we take care of our kids. Right? So Cozy created a specific product. She called it Boo to scare the lice, to treat the lice problem. But wait, there's more. Cozy has also written an Amazon bestseller titled Guide Girls to Hair. Not bad for a former clothing line receptionist who knew she wanted to open up her own business. I'm impressed with Cozy Friedman. By the way, her maiden name was Wallen. And she married a guy she met at UMass Amherst, who was, I think, an investment bank or something. So small business lesson. And I got this from an interview Cozy gave a while back. She said, what is your philosophy for being successful when you start a business? And here's the 4 things she said. And I think these are 4 small business lessons. Number 1, listen to your customers. What do they want? You know what her friend wanted? Her friend wanted a place to take her nephew to get his hair cut. Pretty good. Number 2, listen to your staff. She says, they are your eyes and ears. Her staff came coming back and said, you know, Cozy, our customers, they don't know how to treat the lice for kids. So she created a problem for them. Number 3, offer something different. Cozy's haircut place doesn't have chairs. They have little Jeeps. She has videos playing on the wall of kids' movies. They have toys and coloring books and just anything to make it a pleasant experience getting a haircut as opposed to saying, oh, I got to get my haircut. Okay. She was different. And Cozy offered a specialty to a niche that no one else was satisfying. So here's my question to small business owners. In your industry, who are the problem clients that your competitors rather not deal with? Nobody wants to deal with kids getting their hair cut. And can you serve these clients profitably? If you serve them well, they will pay for it. Cozy was charging $23 a haircut. That's a lot of money. But her marketplace says it's a place where my kid will be happy. My kid he or she enjoys going to get their haircut because it's a fun. Remember, John Taffer says you're not selling Coronas, you're selling experiences. Cozy wasn't selling haircuts. Cozy was selling a great place for kids to go have fun and look good, and the parents loved it. So they were paying a premium. Can you serve clients profitably? It is much more profitable to satisfy a small, ignored niche than it is to compete with everybody else trying to satisfy the big niche. And gentlemen, that's my twin for this week.
I did a little research on her. I looked her up there. She's got her seats in the place are like there's a Jeep, there's a hand. It just looks fun.
Peter, that is the best. I wish I had thought of that when I was putting this together. It's a fun place to go for her clients, and her clients are the kids. No, it's not. The clients are the parents of the kids said, wow, where am I? I'll gladly pay $5 or $10 more for a haircut because I want little Mary or little Johnny to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, even if a barber shop would take one of their chairs and convert it like that, you know, for the kids, they would love to come back there.
And they would have a line waiting to sit down to get their kid. Right. There you go.
I have to show this podcast to one of my favorite haircutting places, American Barber. They have a couple places in town, but they serve veterans well, give us a discount even. But yeah, that's really cool that she thought that. Dick, you want to weigh in on that?
Just a question, did she stay with just the 2 locations, or did she franchise out or expand more?
No, as of this week when I was researching, she only had the 2 locations. Okay. And she's doing quite well. She's she's doing, and by the way, and I don't think she's ever cut hair. She has 17 stylists in one location that works. That's a big location that work for her, and they have to pass all sorts of tests, and that she, because they've got to be kid friendly. It's a kid friendly place.
Yeah.
And that goes along a little bit. What I'm going to talk about later is that's a lesson. You open 2 places, you do them great. You don't worry about going to 5 other locations that open up. You have control of the environment, control of the process, and that to me is another lesson for small business.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, that's good.